The ex-girlfriend returns.
Emma couldn't sleep that night. The message from Isabella kept repeating in her mind. Marco's ex-girlfriend Kiara is back in Rome. She was asking about him. Every time Emma closed her eyes, she imagined scenarios, each one worse than the last. Who was Kiara? Why was she asking about Marco? And most importantly, why hadn't Marco ever mentioned her? She looked at Marco sleeping peacefully beside her. His face was calm, innocent. Should she wake him up and ask? No, it was 3 in the morning. She would wait until breakfast. But waiting felt impossible. Morning came slowly. Emma had maybe slept 2 hours. When Marco woke up, he immediately noticed something was wrong. Emma's eyes were tired, and she seemed distant. "Are you okay?" Marco asked, touching her face gently. Emma took a deep breath. She had to ask. "Marco, who is Kiara?" Marco's expression changed immediately. Surprise, then understanding, then something like guilt. He sat up in bed and took Emma's hand. "Isabella told you," he said quietly. It wasn't a question. "Yes, last night. Why didn't you tell me about her?" Marco sighed deeply. He looked uncomfortable, like he was choosing his words carefully. "Kiara was my girlfriend, a long time ago. We were together for 3 years. It ended 2 years before I met you." Emma felt her stomach tighten. 3 years was a long time. That was a serious relationship. Why did it end? She wanted different things. She got a job offer in Milan. I wanted to stay in Rome. We tried long distance for a few months, but it didn't work. We broke up. It was sad, but it was the right decision. "And now she's back?" Marco nodded. "Isabella told me last week. Kiara moved back to Rome for work. But Emma, that has nothing to do with us. That relationship is completely in the past." Emma wanted to believe him. She did believe him, but something still bothered her. "Why didn't you tell me she was back?" Marco looked guilty. "I didn't want to worry you. I know how you think. I know you would imagine problems that don't exist. I should have told you. I'm sorry." Emma felt tears in her eyes. Not because she didn't trust Marco, but because she felt insecure. Kiara was Italian. She probably spoke perfect Italian. She knew Marco's family. She understood his culture. Emma was still learning all of these things. Marco pulled Emma into his arms. "Hey, look at me. You are the person I love. You are the person I want. Kiara is my past. You are my present and my future. Do you understand?" Emma nodded against his chest. But the insecurity didn't disappear completely. At school that day, Emma couldn't focus properly. During her lunch break, she found Francesca in the teacher's lounge. She needed to talk to someone. "Francesca, can I ask you something personal?" Emma said, sitting down with her coffee. "Of course, Kara. What's wrong? You look worried." Emma told her everything, about Isabella's message, about Marco's ex-girlfriend being back in Rome, about feeling insecure and inadequate. Francesca listened carefully, nodding with understanding. They went to Francesca's house to talk more comfortably. When Emma finished, Francesca smiled gently. "Emma, do you remember what I told you about my Brazilian boyfriend? The one I let go because I was afraid?" Emma nodded. "I was afraid because I thought I wasn't good enough for him. I thought his family wouldn't accept me. I thought the distance would be too hard. But you know what? All of those fears were in my head. And now, 20 years later, I regret it every day. But this is different. Emma said. Kiara knows Marco's world. She fits naturally into his life. And so do you, Francesca said firmly. I saw you with Marco. I see how he looks at you. That man is completely in love with you. His ex-girlfriend doesn't matter. What matters is what you and Marco have now. Emma wanted to believe her. She really did. That evening, Emma came home to find Marco cooking dinner. He had made her favorite pasta dish and set the table with candles. When he saw her, he came over and kissed her forehead. I love you, he said simply. I need you to know that. Emma smiled. I love you too. They ate dinner together, talking about their days, laughing at small jokes. Emma felt better. Marco was right. She was letting her imagination create problems. After dinner, they were washing dishes together when Marco's phone buzzed on the counter. Emma glanced at it automatically and saw the name on the screen. Kiara! Her heart stopped. Marco saw her looking and quickly picked up the phone. He read the message, and his expression became serious. What does she want? Emma asked, trying to keep her voice calm. Marco hesitated. She wants to meet. She says she needs to talk to me about something important. Emma felt like the floor was disappearing under her feet. Are you going to meet her? I don't know, Marco said honestly. Maybe I should, just to hear what she wants. It might be something about work or mutual friends. Or maybe she wants you back, Emma said, the words coming out before she could stop them. Emma, no, that's not... How do you know? You haven't seen her in 2 years. People change their minds. Marco put his phone down and took both of Emma's hands. Even if that's true, it doesn't matter. I don't want her. I want you. But if I don't meet her, you'll always wonder what she wanted. Maybe it's better if I just meet her, find out what she needs, and then we can move forward without this hanging over us. Emma knew he was right, but the thought of Marco meeting Kiara made her feel sick. When does she want to meet? Tomorrow. For coffee. Tomorrow. Less than 24 hours away. Emma nodded slowly. Okay, meet her. But Marco, please be honest with me about everything. I promise, Marco said, kissing her hands. I will tell you everything. That night, Emma lay awake again. Marco had fallen asleep with his arm around her, but she couldn't relax. Tomorrow, Marco would see Kiara, the woman he had loved for 3 years. The woman who knew him before Emma even existed in his world. Emma picked up her phone and opened Instagram. She searched for Kiara Rome and found her immediately. Kiara's profile wasn't private. Emma scrolled through the photos, her heart sinking with each one. Kiara was beautiful. Not just pretty, beautiful. She had long dark hair, perfect olive skin, and the kind of confidence that came from knowing exactly who she was. In her photos, she was at fashion events, art galleries, expensive restaurants. She looked sophisticated, successful, Italian in a way Emma could never be. Emma looked at photos of Kiara and Marco together from 2 years ago. They looked happy. They looked like they belonged together. 2 Italians, both beautiful, both fitting perfectly into Rome's elegant lifestyle. Emma felt tears rolling down her cheeks. How could she compete with that? She was just a simple English teacher from America. She still made mistakes in Italian. She still got confused by cultural traditions. She was ordinary compared to Kiara's perfection. She put her phone down and stared at the ceiling. Tomorrow, Marco would see Kiara again, and Emma had no idea what would happen next. The next day came too quickly. Marco had to meet Kiara at 3 o'clock. Emma finished her classes at 2. She went home and waited, checking her phone every few minutes. At 3:15, her phone buzzed. A message from Marco. Meeting her now, I'll call you after. I love you. Emma stared at the message. He was with her now. Kiara, the ex-girlfriend. They were probably sitting across from each other, talking, maybe laughing at old memories. Maybe Kiara looked even more beautiful in person. Maybe Marco was remembering why he loved her. Time moved impossibly slowly. 3:30. 4 o'clock. 4:30. No message from Marco. At 5 o'clock, Emma couldn't wait anymore. She grabbed her bag and decided to go for a walk, anything to distract her mind. She walked without paying attention to where she was going, lost in her worried thoughts. When she finally looked up, she realized where she was. The cafe near Piazza Navona. The same cafe where she and Marco had their first coffee together, the day they met when she was lost. She was about to turn around when she saw them. Marco and Kiara, sitting at an outdoor table. They weren't holding hands or touching, but they were talking intensely. Kiara was leaning forward, saying something serious. Marco was listening with complete attention. Emma stood frozen on the sidewalk. She should leave. She should trust Marco and go home. But she couldn't move. Then Kiara did something that made Emma's heart stop completely. She reached across the table and put her hand on Marco's hand. And Marco didn't pull away. Emma felt like she couldn't breathe. She turned around quickly and walked away, tears streaming down her face. She didn't know where she was going. She just needed to get away. Her phone rang. Marco. She didn't answer. It rang again and again. Finally, she turned it off completely. Emma found herself at the Trevi Fountain, the place where her love story with Marco had really begun. She sat on the edge, crying, not caring that tourists were staring at her. She had thrown a coin in this fountain 6 months ago, wishing to return to Rome. And she had returned. She had built a life here. She had fallen in love. She had believed she had found her home. But maybe she had been wrong about everything. Maybe Marco belonged with someone like Kiara, someone who understood his world completely. Maybe Emma was just a temporary chapter in his story, not the ending. Her phone was off, so she didn't see the 10 messages from Marco. She didn't see him calling over and over. She didn't see Isabella's message. Emma, please call me. It's not what you think. Emma sat by the fountain as the sun set over Rome, feeling more lost than the day she first arrived.
Like this video if you enjoyed it. New love stories coming soon. See you in the next story.